What about public letters to Congress and the White House, putting them on notice that your sources, journalistic sources of the highest caliber, have warned you about this so that there's even more of a public record?
Well, I mean, Congress, garbage in, it's a black hole. The stuff goes in there, nothing ever comes out. The other thing I want to state, too, is it's getting increasingly difficult covering Washington, D.C. because my sources are drying up faster than a puddle in the Sahara Desert. They're just fearful of being exposed.
Well, that's because the Justice Department has been... Yeah, the Justice Department's been publicly burning mild whistleblowers.
Right. We have Thomas Drake, the former NSA official, now being charged under the Espionage Act for providing unclassified information to the Baltimore Sun. Only the fourth such case since the act was enacted during World War I. In this case, Obama's worse than Bush. Believe it or not, when it comes to how they're handling whistleblowers, there's a fear. Fear has set in here in Washington. I have sources drying up left and right. They don't want to talk anymore because they see what happens to some of these other people. They were concerned during Bush, but they were much more willing to talk during the Bush administration, unlike this one.
Wayne, I want to hold you 5 minutes in the next hour, so we have two more little 5-minute segments with you. But I'm going to ask this question now. We're going to reconnect via regular phone with you because your Skype's breaking up too much when we go to break here in about a minute. But before we do that, let me just pose the question now, and you can think about it during the break. We have the White House regulations are saying arrest people that disagree with the government, infiltrate their groups, cognitive dissonance, set them up. 2 weeks ago, Politico gets the memos from last year inside of Media Matters. George Soros group saying, we're going to destroy the alternative media, starting with Fox News, I think that's popular, and other sites critical of the administration. We're going to guerrilla warfare, destroy them. So this is a very scary group here. So who do you think they're going to send after you? A Chicago Mafia? A CIA hitman? I mean, what quarters do you think this... them knocking you on the head or giving you a shot and then holding you up and putting that tourniquet around your neck. I mean, folks, they'll do it. They'll kill him dead than a hammer, and they'll send a message to everybody. I mean, they'll kill me. I mean, let me tell you, folks, that's a real possibility. It's creepy when I had to travel to cities and turn off the light in my own hotel room. I'll be honest, sometimes we've had people following us. I go ahead and barricade the door. Just so I have a fighting chance, but they can kill you. I mean, look at Mubarak. He wouldn't step down. He has a stroke. Then he's in the trial and has a heart attack. In the death threats we've gotten, they want you to know it's the government. It'll show no number, and when they death threat you, they'll act nice at first, but then start telling you something that you just had in a phone conversation 10 minutes before. And they'll say, this has happened, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times over the years. Now you know who we are, don't you? Because I told you that. Now I'm going to kill you. You understand that? You're dead. And they'll say it in a really mean voice. This is who runs America. And you understand they're going to take your pension funds. They're going to start new wars. They're going to destroy everything. The country's over if we don't have courage. We got to stand up to these people. I'm risking my life. Wayne is. Ron Paul is. You better believe. Stand beside us, folks, not behind us. We're going to beat these people. We don't have a choice. Somebody has got to stand up to them. Wayne, we went to break there. I brought up the admissions of the White House regulations of COINTELPRO and how great it is. The bizarre memos out of George Soros' Media Matters about guerrilla warfare against alternative media. The people at Media Matters who listen every day and write about the show every few days, those interns listening, they need to understand they're going to end up, if we get victory against them, going down like Nixon's people.
Well, that's right, and I have to say that I have seen how almost every group, including those who supposedly protest the Obama administration, have been totally infiltrated. The anti-war movement, some of these other groups, some of these privacy organizations, civil liberties organizations, all infiltrated, all with Soros money for the most part. And I mean, it makes the Nixon's enemies list look like a shopping list.
Wayne, when are you planning to leave the United States?
Well, without getting into details, it's not easy to just pick up after being here for so long. go elsewhere. But it will be in the next few weeks, maybe a month or so.
Is there any part of your investigation in Chicago or into his CIA grooming background, do you have any intel you haven't released that you can get out here now that'll lessen the chances of them whacking you?
Well, all I can say is we know that ex-Governor Blagojevich's trial begins the end of this month in Chicago. There's a lot of information that the prosecutors are suppressing. I think it'll show what was really going on inside Chicago politics with the Olympics, trying to get the Olympics scam, and who was going to benefit from that. Valerie Jarrett, Michelle Obama, the late head of the school board, Michael Scott, who was found dead in the Chicago River with a bullet in his head, which has still not been resolved as a suicide by the Chicago PD. That, I think, is what we're going to find in addition to some of the seamier sides of Obama and Rahm Emanuel's past.
What about CIA background with Obama? You must be getting close if they're after you.
Well, I think that's what's got them more concerned than anything else. I've been going, especially Stanley Ann Dunham, his mother.
All right, doing a final 5 minutes with Wayne Madsen, investigative journalist, WayneMadsenReport.com. And he's a particularly bad Skype and phone line today. And he just dropped. We're getting him back on for a final few questions here. He has said that he is getting ready to leave the United States. And for somebody who hasn't gotten government death threats where they let you know they're listening to your phones and tell you things you were talking about 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before they threaten you, you know, at that point, you're just like, I can't live in fear. I just got to go all out against you people. And I don't even really look over my shoulder. I don't want to die. I love life so much. I love my children more than life itself. But it is what it is. Somebody's got to commit against these people. Somebody has got to have the courage to say no to the New World Order. Somebody has got to realize just how serious these globalists are and that they're totally ruthless. I mean, America is being turned into one giant FEMA camp with the children trained to have the government molesting them, to have the parents trained to turn their kids over, the government taking blood samples from babies at birth, now admittedly for close to 4 decades. It just has to end. It has to stop. We've got to at least slow it down. But instead of slowing it down, what's happening is there's a huge awakening happening, and the globalists are just putting things into high gear. They are putting the entire system into high gear. We got Wayne back. We've only got about 3 minutes. Wayne Madsen, anything else you'd like to add? Anything else you're looking into? Dealing with these direct, major media telling you and the State Department telling you, look, the word is they want you dead. I mean, clearly they wanted this message to get to you that they are planning to kill you.
Well, I of course, did a sanity check on myself and ran this by some very close colleagues of mine who are journalists, and I let them know what the source was, and they were, really concerned and upset. They said you have to take that seriously. So, I mean, it's not just something that was passed over the transom as a sort of an idle threat. I did vet this with others who kind of urged me to, take it seriously and, of course, do the right thing. So I think just that Washington is not a good place to be right now. There's no access for independent journalists. There's no the sources are drying up. It's almost like covering politics in Pyongyang, North Korea here now.
Wayne, are we going to be able to get you back up in the next few weeks before you leave the country?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, maybe we should get you on a good phone line and have you for a full hour. Or before you leave the country, you're welcome to come down here to Austin and be in studio with us. We might even be able to, in fact, we will. If you want, we'll buy you a plane ticket and put you up here for 2 or 3 days. Maybe you can be our in-studio analyst for a couple days. You want to, after you move out of your apartment or box everything up or whatever you're planning, you want to come down to Austin?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to do that.
Well, we've got to hang together or certainly hang separate, and our founding fathers went through similar things. They had British death warrants out on their heads, and John Hancock, knowing they'd come after his land, his family, he signed his name the biggest at the top, and he said, if I'm going to be on the list, I want to be on the top of the list.
Absolutely.
But doesn't this, in closing, signify that they're scared, they're desperate, they're not invincible?
Oh, I think so. The thing is, they're doing damage control now. They don't want any surprises coming out because the smart money is on Obama getting reelected because we see this, the circus on the other side. And so that's where all the smart Wall Street money is. 4 more years of Obama to carry out their agenda, which he's doing quite nicely and has been. And we'll hear more about that with his speech tonight.
That's right. He's announcing a new tax code to help us. Boy, this is help we don't need, Wayne.
Absolutely, and the devil will be in the details, I'm sure.
Wayne, while we have you, I'm going to put you on hold here at the end of this segment. We're going to go ahead and look at the book next week and look for a time to get you on and maybe give us off record a ballpark of when you leave town. Maybe you can make a stop through Austin so we can physically interview you here. I know we've gone to D.C. to interview you before, but God bless you. We'll all pray for you. Support him at WayneMadsenReport.com.